Next, we will hear a speech from our valedictorian, Peter Koo.
Good afternoon, proud parents, dedicated teachers, family, friends, and most of all, graduates of the class of 2012. Today is your day. To the younger siblings who are dragged along, this may seem like just another pointless gathering of strangers on a hot, stuffy afternoon, and you're required to pretend to be happy and pose with your older brother or sister for pictures. But really, all you want to do is to get back to playing Pokemon or Angry Birds. But that's fine. Someday you will understand the significance of this day. Graduates, today is the start of your future. Today is not only the culmination of 4 years of blood, sweat, and tear-stained lab reports, but it is also the last day you have to hear someone giving you a boring lecture about the significance of today. That is, until next week when your parents will be at it again. But that's because your parents love you more than you can imagine. The best thing you can do today is to show appreciation for your parents. Make time between throwing your caps in the air and taking pictures with 12 different groups of friends to hug your parents and thank them for all that they've done for you. Taking these 2 minutes to show your gratitude pales in comparison to the 18 or 19 years that your parents have made sacrifices for you. And yes, I said 18 or 19 years. Those first 9 months of exercise, prenatal vitamins, and most importantly, no alcohol were probably the hardest. So cherish your family. They are always there for you. Even that time in 3rd grade when you tried to run away and you only made it 2 blocks before falling off your bike and scraping your knee. Your mom was there to give you a Band-Aid. Your dad was there to walk your bike home. And your brother, well, he was just there. In addition to your immediate families, many of you have probably made new families as well. This year, South's tennis team reached the finals of the Tournament of Champions. Beating teams we never thought we could beat because we acted as a family, sharing granola bars, giving advice to the underclassmen about college admissions, or driving teammates around the block before going home to help them avoid being killed in assassin by people following us. And if your family's not the tennis team, perhaps it's the boys basketball team, who posted the highest winning percentage in South's history this year. Or class council, who planned an awesome senior prom and class picnic for us. Or perhaps it's yearbook, who after many late nights and sushi, produced an unbelievable finished product for us. Perhaps you traveled the world with your friends, going to Hawaii with the orchestra, or Italy with the choir. Perhaps you were in Epcot, having too much fun in the Japanese store, looking at stuffed animals. So you lost track of time, and to avoid missing curfew and getting the teachers upset, you had to sprint through Morocco, France, and the United Kingdom, only to get to the bus and miss it anyway because you had to wait for your friends to catch up. In our 4 years as one big family at South, there was no limit to our pride and creativity. The senior murals look amazing, and homecoming decorations were outstanding. Even budget cuts didn't slow us down. They may have cut some of our clubs, we may have bathroom dryers that barely work, but now we have many student-run clubs. And hey, our faucets rarely work anyway. From orchestra fundraisers at Cheeseburger to post-prom's Hoagie Haven, this year we've had some of the most successful fundraisers ever because we were willing to spend time filling our stomachs and making huge takeout orders from Hoagie Haven to support our classmates. And these will be some of the greatest memories you'll keep from high school. Going to movies, chilling at parties, are good ways to pass the time, but I think it's the little favors you do for each other that you'll remember. The spontaneous decisions to bake poem cupcakes for AP Lit, or that time you and your friend randomly decided, just for fun, to take a new route home, and you ended up getting lost deep in Trenton. You'll probably forget most of what happened in the books you read or the movies you saw, but you'll never forget that look on your friend's face when you covered her car with Post-its for her birthday. And that's because what's important is not so much what you do with your friends, but the fact that you do it with them. Why else would we agree to wait in the Toy Story Mania line for over an hour? So be with your friends. Be there for them. Be there when they need someone to laugh with. Be there when they need someone to cry on. Be someone to do math with and someone to rely on. Now that it's time to leave your natural and acquired families, remember to stay true to yourself. Listen to others, but also listen to yourself. Pay attention to what scares you, what irks you, and what simply takes your breath away. Do what you love. You don't have to know what that is right now, but just be willing to explore and test your limits. Know that Shakespeare and Steve Jobs were humans just like the rest of us. We like to label them as geniuses so we can have an excuse to be lazy because we'll just never be quite as smart as they are. But once you realize that everything in this world was created by people not much smarter than you, you can begin to make a difference. I'm not saying that genius doesn't exist, and I'm not saying that a man 4 feet tall can be a star NBA player if he just sets his mind to it, but I am saying don't underestimate your abilities. Soon you'll be on your own, flying solo, so you gotta do what you love. YOLO! No one will be there to tell you which courses will inspire you. No one will be able to tell you whether you'll find your passion in working with little kids, or you'll have a knack for finding the best burger joints in the country. At times, you may be tempted to just do what everyone else is doing, to leave the decisions to them. But don't. Find what you love. There's something out there for everyone, so don't settle. Keep searching until you find it. And when you do, don't let anyone tell you you can't. So don't ever follow someone else's path. Unless you're lost in the woods, then don't be a hero. Just follow the darn path and get your butt out of there. So class of 2012, go out there, redefine limits, and break down walls. I'm not talking wimpy walls like the dividers in the math wing. I'm talking solid, Hulk-smashing walls. I'm not talking sneak into the library without a pass. I'm talking invent something, try to sell it, fail, start all over, and then write a book about how forgetting the on switch on your device was a pretty big mistake. Today marks the start of your independence, of showing the world what you have to offer. You're no longer defined by the number of varsity letters you get, by the number of clubs you're a part of, or the number of 89.45s you managed to get to squeak out an A. Now is your chance to play in the sand, to experiment, and find what defines you. At a time when the economy is tenuous and the job market is tough, your parents, teachers, and peers have prepared you well to meet these challenges, not as obstacles, but as opportunities to prove yourself. So go out there and carpe the heck out of the diem. Thank you.
Now we will hear some reflections with the theme of South Words of Wisdom from the senior class officers. First presenting will be the Vice President, Jeffrey Yu.
How do I follow that speech? It's not going to be very easy, but I'll try my best, and I hope you guys don't get